I think I finally found the perfect tool bag setup for an electrician. It's so much smaller than my normal setup, and I've got quite a bit packed in here, and I'm gonna show you guys some of the ways that I really saved a lot of room. Just stuff that I've picked up along the way on how to keep a plethora of tools in such a small space. And so I think I've finally got it down to the place that I want it. It's light enough that I can carry it anywhere. I can do just about any job. Most things I can do with this bag right here. We'll start with the bag itself. It's the TP-LC. I love this bag. It is fantastic. I like that they finally put the zippers on them in the cover, so not everything's just open. I really like that they did that. Now, we'll go on the outside first, and I'll show you guys some of the ways that I've customized this, because I think customizing your Veto Pro Pac is one of the, my favorite things to do to really get the most out of it. They give you such an amazing bag up front. However, it just takes it, you can take it so much further and do your own stuff to optimize the space. And so that's what I've done here. If you look at this right side here, this is where we'll begin. I've got my wire strippers from Knipex on the outside, and I've got this M12 fuel impact. You got to have the fuel. They are amazing, and it fits in this little pocket here nicely if you have one of the smaller batteries. You can't put the larger platform batteries in there, but you can get up to a 4.0 with the slim profile. I really like that. It's nice. I like being able to carry it in my bag. I use it all the time. Here on the opposite side of the bag, I've got a set of linemans in this front pocket here. Just the tools that I use the most frequently, or the bigger tools, so they don't take up as much storage inside the bag. And then on this pocket here, I've just got a knife, my knife clipped on. I love this knife from Fiskars. It is a phenomenal knife. You guys have to check this thing out if you haven't already. Next, we've got this tape measure. I've liked the Milwaukee stud. It's the 25-foot with the magnetic tape on it, and it's on this little clip right here. I find it's just easier. You don't have to tear up your bag. It's just a nice place it's set for it. And then this right here is the WIHA bit bag, and it's the reason why I'm able to save so much space and carry so many options. I'm not gonna get into this just right yet. I'm gonna wait until the end, but this thing right here is one of the main reasons that I'm able to save so much storage and really keep the load light and have so many options and be very effective with my space. We'll go ahead and head through this back pocket first. If you open it up, I've just got some littler stuff in there. I find that the smaller size stuff fits better in these pockets back here. So I keep my level from Klien, voltage detector from Flir, a micro screwdriver. It's a 4-in-1 from Klien, and it's got the spinny back to it. It's got a small Phillips and a smaller Phillips, and a small flathead and a smaller flathead. I don't really know what those sizes are, but they're tiny. And I believe that these are nut drivers as well on both sides. I believe 2 different sizes, so they are fantastic for your little stuff. I don't do stuff like this every day, so it is nice to have it when I need it. You run into it every now and then, especially with just different low voltage stuff. And then I keep this box wrench from Crescent in here. It is a 5/16, ½ inch, 7/16, and I believe 3/8. That's what it is. That side's been rubbed off. I use this very frequently. It does switch rotations, and then it is the 12-point socket instead of the traditional 6-point. That's all that I keep inside of this back Velcro pocket. Then right here on the back, this is from MNG Arista. I don't know how to pronounce names. I never have, and I'm so terrible at it. I took my identification out on this one, so you guys didn't catch all of my information. However, you know, I work in quite a few facilities that I need identification, and so these hold your IDs, and you don't have to I don't like to keep mine on my person while I'm working. And then I also keep my spare set of keys for panels and stuff like that back there. But you guys go check them out. Use code Electrician for 25% off from today all the way until the 21st, or I believe potentially even the end of the month. But I really like this. I like the metal version a lot better. They've got 2 styles. One is a carabiner, and I've just got mine clipped back here, and the other one is like a belt clip. And I've actually been using the metal one with the belt clip for my every day. I've got my keys on it, and I love it. It's retractable, so if you have to scan in or out, you can do that. Really like that, but it's been fantastic so far. The other thing I've got on here that's a little bit more to customize it, I've got this Olight keychain light on here, and basically you just twist it to turn it on, and it's super bright. This one takes AAA batteries. I like the stuff from Olight a lot. I've got one on my keychain as well. Handle's super cool. It comes up here, connects to these D-rings, solid handle. I like the zipper so much. I'm so glad they finally put one on these bags on the TP series. It zips on both sides, and then it's got Velcro on the bottom. Obviously, it's got the tape clip in the front too if you want to use that. You can hook your impact onto that or your tape or whatever. I like to keep this one free since I'm going to end up having the bag open when I'm using it. It's also got a D-ring on both sides below these where you can, you know, have your tape clip. We'll start with this little flap pocket here. It's actually got this little clear spot where you can see what you've got in there, and I've got my leads in there for my meter. That's the only thing I keep in there because I want to keep the integrity of those solid. And then as you can see, there are quite a few tools in this bag. It really allows you to take advantage of the space. Down here, it's got the bit pocket, traditional bit pocket, and inside I keep the different sockets and the different extensions and Allen keys. They're all 3/8, and I'll show you guys why in a second, because that's another way that I save a lot of space. If you look at this, I've got a 3/16 and 1/4 inch long Allen key, got 3/8 extension and something to allow that to go into my impact. Got a 1/2 inch Allen key here, and then I've got the 7/16, 1/2 inch, and 9/16 deep well impact sockets from Milwaukee with the 3/8. I like those a lot. That's everything in this front section here. From there, we'll get into the meat of the bag. This bag is fantastic. The only close to an issue thing that I have with it is the depth. You kind of have to play with it in order to get your longer screwdrivers and pliers set up. However, it is possible. If you guys can see, I've got this huge beater screwdriver that I keep in here. You just have to push it past the pockets and keep it so it's going down all the way to the bottom of the bag, which is not an issue. There is a spot in the middle of that bag for stuff like that, and I actually do the same thing here with this nut driver. So we'll go through it real quick. Up front, I've got this Wera Zyklops. It's a 3/8 pocket set. It also takes 1/4 inch bits, so you can put an extension in there, and it's a ratcheting screwdriver, which is one of the ways I get away from having to carry 100 screwdrivers. This thing is magical. It pops out in the back here, and you can put all your different bits in there, so you don't need to worry about having a ton of different bit options. You'll use this for your ratchet, for your Allen keys, and also for your sockets. Next in that row of things, we've got this Klien 7-in-1 nut driver. It's got a hollow shaft, and it's also magnetic, so that is a plus. That way you can run them up on all thread, and it's got just about any nut driver size, and which with the hollow shaft is really what you're looking for there. That's what makes it so much better. Right next to that, in this front pocket, we've got these 10-inch diagonal cutters from Knipex. Knipex pliers are phenomenal. I love them. File here, you can remount your pipe with that, or you can, if you got to clean out a box or something, if you cut a new hole and there's a sharp edge or something and you want to make sure your wires don't get nicked, you just ream it out with that. On both sides of this, in these long pockets, I've got Knipex cobras. These are the 10-inch pairs. They just slide in those pockets, both the same on both sides. I love these pliers. There is the gripping strength on these is so strong. They really grab anything you need so well. Fantastic for running pipe. Then in this middle section here, I've got this huge beater screwdriver from Wera with the pass-through shank. It's got the metal cap on it. That is by far my favorite beater screwdriver I've ever used. I've never seen anything like it, and I don't ever want to change. It's also got this thing here so you can put a pair of pliers on it if you're trying to turn something and you need more torque. You can put your pliers on it and twist. Next in the line, in this back pocket here, we've got the Knipex pliers wrench. If you've never used these things are amazing. They've got these flat jaws on them, and they allow you to grab nuts and bolts without marring them. You can use them on pipe fittings if you so choose, and you can basically twist like compression couplings and that type of thing. They have those flat sides. I don't prefer to do that, but if you're trying not to mark them up, if they're going to be super visible, you can. And then in these back two pockets here, I've got just a regular Phillips, a number 2 Phillips and a flathead, the most common 2 sizes that I use. I use these frequently. So these are the only 2 standard screwdrivers that I keep because I use them so much. I really like to have them. Then I've got this Fluke 323 clamp meter. This clamp meter is fantastic. It's a great clamp meter. It does DC as well as AC, so that's where I really like to keep this one instead. I use the clamp function every now and then. However, it's really about the DC voltage. I think there's a lot of meters that don't do both. I believe my T6 600 only does AC, and so I found that out the hard way when I went into a job and I was using it, and I went to check the voltage on a white noise machine in some sort of medical facility, and I was like, oh shoot, let me go get my other meter. I really do like this meter a lot. It's been very faithful to me. Fluke is the only type of meter that I will carry every day and use because they're so reliable. I love Fluke meters. And then we'll get to this bag here with all of the bits in it, the WIHA bit bag, because this is really what takes the cake and helps me store everything so incredibly well. So inside of this bit bag, this is really where I think this excels. The storage in this is great, yes, but it's really more so about how you use it. All of the bits in here are 1/4 inch impact bits, and so I keep everything that I would ever need. I keep drill bits in here, I keep fastener bits, so that way they can either go in the inside of this, and they can be a stubby right here, right? If I have this turned and I have a bit in here, then it turns into a stubby driver. Show you guys real quick. Boom, like that. Or if I need to have it at an angle and use it for a stubby like this long ways, I can. However, I also have the availability to put this bit extension in here and make it a longer screwdriver. That way, if I need to use a longer number 1 Phillips or a longer number 1 Robertson or number 2 Robertson for pipe, I like to do that, then I can. And I also keep the WIHA nut driver set in here. So everything from 1/4 inch all the way up to 9/16 for nut drivers, and those are magnetic. You know, I keep some spade bits in here for drilling because all this also goes in my impact, right? And so it allows me to use this as a ratchet, as a screwdriver, and it also allows me to use my impact for drilling and also for fastening. And I use my impact a lot to fasten. I also keep this step bit in here from Diablo. I love this step bit. It's phenomenal. Keep some self-drilling taps in here. I keep the 832 and the 632, which allow me to retap boxes or those different types of things, because those are the things you always end up messing up. And I keep like a plethora of number 1 and number 2 Phillips, number 1 and number 2 square, shorter and longer bits. But what it allows you to do is it allows you to use this as a screwdriver. It allows you to use this as a screwdriver. It allows you to use this as a ratchet for any type of thing. And then from there, you know, you can also throw on your sockets, your 9/16, 1/2 inch, and 7/16 onto either your ratchet here or onto your impact here, and then from there you're able to do just about anything. It covers a lot of the bases that you need to do as an electrician or as a tradesman. You can really get away with a lot. Another cool bit that I use is this bit from Bosch. It's an all material bit, and it goes through concrete or tile, all of those. It's a masonry bit, but you can use it in your impact. And while I wouldn't use it a ton for concrete work, it does get you out of a pinch. If you're only putting in 3 or 4 tap cons, you don't want to bring your SDS in for sure, and it saves you from bringing in your drill or having to go get your drill. You can just throw this baby in there and use it, and it does work in your impact, and it does work well. You don't need the hammering function to get through concrete or to get through masonry, and so this right here is a game changer. I love these little bits. I also keep some like longer bits. This is probably a 6-inch bit from Wera, but it's just stuff, whatever I feel like I need to use or want to use. Traditionally, I don't have to use it with this very often. I really use them a lot for my impact, but it allows me that when I need to, I can have those bits that don't have the coating on them that my screwdrivers do, and it keeps me from having 100 screwdrivers and also being able to use my impact with all of this as well. That's why I like the 1/4 inch system so much. I don't get a whole lot of things that don't have the 1/4 inch drive unless they're going to be used specifically with my drill, because I use my impact so much. I love the functionality of this bag so much. Now, I did do a video on that Wera Zyklops pocket set not too long ago, so I'm gonna go ahead and put that up here. Go ahead and check that out if you're interested. Sub if you haven't